welcome back to Shelf Center. This is Bryce. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for liking and subscribing. You know, this is something you end up enjoying. It could happen. Anyway, this is my attempt at news as far as it goes for fantasy, science fiction, sometimes horror, as they mostly relate to books, but sometimes media and other facets. Anyway, I wanted to jump right into things today and get into the books. First things first, this was news to me, it may not have been news to you, but I found that the Subterranean Press version of Forge of Darkness, so they've got an edition coming out. It's apparently finally shipping, and but I hadn't really had a good look at the cover before now. I'm looking at it now. This is done by Grant Griffin. I've loved the Malazan covers for the Subterranean Press. They do they do great covers for the most part. I love some more than others. I have to say this is on the lesser tier for me. It's still really, like, it's got good colors. Like, I don't know how to describe that. I feel like it's a very vibrant picture for what colors it's actually has in it. I just don't love it with it's just kind of boring. It's kind of like a goofy dude there, and I need to read it clearly because I'm not a good enough Malazan fan. I've only reread the main series. Well, I'm on my third time. And yet I still I haven't read a lot of the side stuff, even though I have read, I guess, a healthy amount of Ian Cameron Esselmont. So anyway, not my favorite, but still, I mean, Subterranean Press and Malazan, they're great things. I doubt there's any left to actually buy, so it's not very helpful, but you could probably get it for way more expensive on the used market. That's what you wanted, right? All right, then Empire of the Damned has got itself a cover, both the US and the UK. That's by Jay Kristoff. This is the sequel to Empire of the Vampire, which is both. It's a name that I both hate and love, and I think it just works really well. That little that little rhyme there. But I want to hate it, and I actually really love it. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I don't make the decisions here. US cover by Jason Chan. UK cover by Kirby Rosanes. I'm not sure if I got that pronunciation right. I love them both, actually. They're both really well done. I liked them both on the first one. I have to say, though, I kind of like it's almost like more timeless, the UK version. It's just a little more timeless. I'm going to go with that. I think that's really what makes these a little bit better, whereas the US version is a little bit, it'll get dated eventually, right? It looks good now, but these kinds of covers, it's very modern and it's very up on the style, and I just feel like, the UK one is kind of going for, like, that can sit on your shelf and it'll still look good for a long time. All right, then we got news. We got an updated cover from Bob the Wizard. I covered this not too long ago. There's a big controversy for the first Bob the Wizard cover, and that is this. It was a winner of the SPFBO cover contest, and then it was found out that winning cover was AI. I actually really liked that cover. I can see why it won. It's just was AI, and so it's like, not only was it not really made by a human being, but it was like copied from other human beings. Don't love that. It's really hard to get on board with that, especially because I feel like AI, I mean, of course we would turn AI into the stupidest thing. It's not going to be Skynet. It's not going to take over, other than to just annoy the crap out of us. Like, I swear, like, spam calls are getting so much worse now that there's AI involved, and you're like, wait a sec, this is a spammer. Are you freaking kidding me? I try to avoid them anyway, but sometimes they get you. Don't fall for it. All right, then we've got a new book by V.E. Schwab. I love V.E. Schwab. I've read a number of books, but mostly the London series. What is it called? Grey London, something like that. Anyway, the first one is Darker Shade of Magic. So there's a sequel series coming out, The Fragile Threads of Power. I have talked about it before, but it's finally got itself a cover. It's fine. I'm not trying to say anything bad about it, frankly. It's nothing to write home about. It's fine. It's great. It does what it needs to do, and it probably will sell some books, so I hope it does. Anyway, I think Schwab's a great author, and more important is the content in the books, right? Even though I love talking about covers. Then we've got a new cover from Django Wexler, and this is How to Become a Dark Lord. It just looks like a cool premise to this book. Cover art is by Stephanie A. Hess. It looks cool, it looks quirky, it looks fun. Anyway, that's kind of the stuff that gets me for sure. Wexler's he's been an author on my list for some time. Been meaning to read all of the series. He's got Gunpowder fantasy series that it's been on my list for ages. And he's just a good personality to follow on Twitter. Just comes up with good things, good ideas, will break down things in like thread fashion and go into detail on certain things and critiquing stories and whatnot. Anyway, I've been a fan for some time, even though I haven't read a book, so I don't know what my problem is. It's definitely me though. Editing Bryce here. I missed a big piece of news. Wanted to make sure I reported. I guess it's old news since it's not even a week ago. But the latest Brandon Sanderson, this is the Brandon Sanderson Secret Project #3. It has been released, at least on digital. We'll see when the actual book comes out. They've been doing a pretty good job though, so I have to, again, give kudos to them. They got a lot of work to do, and the fact that they're only a couple months late on that, but for the majority of the time, at least they're getting us to the book itself on ebook, so that's good. I won't reveal the name because apparently that's a spoiler. It's a title to a book. I don't know what else to say. It seems like you gotta be able to talk about it, right? So, but it seems like we're jumping back into the Cosmere, and I guess that's was the last one as well. So anyway, good news. They're coming along, and I'm excited to read it. Finally, in comic news, there's a new Indiegogo. It's the Kickstarter equivalent. The other way to go. B.A. Turner has got Vigilantes Creed. It's going to come out on Kickstarter. So the Kickstarter is going to start on July 21st, so get ready for that. I'm excited. If you see some of the artwork, it just looks really cool. There's some like Cthulhu kind of monster looking faces and stuff, and anyway, just really has me. It seems kind of dark, and anyway, it seems right up my alley. I'm excited for it, and I hope it does really, really well. So I just wanted to make sure and give it a little push here. Thought that was really cool. Can't wait for that, and I will definitely be signing up. So, all right, switching gears into media. Just got a couple things I wanted to mention. Dune 2 trailer. I mean, come on. There we go. Who's not excited for that? I am so excited. Those are some of my first videos on this channel, is me critiquing the Dune trailer, but then finding out by a comment that I had actually critiqued the teaser that had come out months before. And then, so because this is my personality to make really bad jokes, I then came out with a video critiquing the trailer for the really old movie. And it makes me laugh, and that's a lot of times the only one who's laughing. It works for me, okay? I don't know what else to say there. But anyway, I'm very excited for Dune. You've heard me talk on the channel if you followed me for a length of time. Very excited for the first movie. It not only met all expectations, but it exceeded them. I'm excited for the sequel here, which is really just the second half of the book. Reread the book, a year or two ago? It's still just as good as ever. I read the sequel. Wasn't quite as good, but I need to keep going in that series because I plan to finish it. Definitely not before the whole movies come out, I'm sure. And we've got Rebel Moon by Zack Snyder. I kind of want to just talk about it. Apparently, it was like when Disney was buying up Star Wars, Zack Snyder kind of was like, hey, what if I just took not even main characters, I just had some fun in the Star Wars universe, came up with something, and also it's going to be rated R. And apparently Disney was like, yeah, no, just for that last part. They might have been on board, but it sounds like they love having at least one kind of side character, but to just completely toss it out. But now I guess we see with kind of newer stuff that's been going on, there's, they don't even need to include the main characters for sure, but not even side characters that kind of are able to just go and do their own things. I mean, look at Mandalorian, look at Andor. Now that they don't have tons of nods and even some other, maybe some cameos and stuff like that, but not really actually following main characters is really what I'm getting at. So I don't know. Rebel Moon seems pretty cool though. If it's just like a Star Wars like story that didn't happen in Star Wars lands and inland, and then you just kind of change a couple names. Essentially, is it just 50 Shades of Grey for Star Wars? Is that all it is? All right, and then finally, I want to talk about Greta Gerwig is apparently on board to direct a couple of Chronicles of Narnia movies for Netflix here. So it looks like we're getting a reboot, something like that, and she's going to at least do two, if not more. Obviously, we'll see. First, stab at this didn't really get too far. I liked the first one. I never really watched any of the others. My kids absolutely adore the movies, so I just, they might also be because that was the only DVD we had in the car for trips for a while. So that's going to be on me. But anyway, I always I have a fond place for the Chronicles of Narnia in my heart because that is the first fantasy series that I read as a kid in elementary school, and I absolutely loved it. But Greta Gerwig, as you may or may not know, is known for Lady Bird, multiple Oscar-nominated film, Little Women, I believe, all kinds of good stuff. Barbie, I guess, is the newest one. She's in the news for. So anyway, it's cool to see Chronicles of Narnia coming back. We'll see. If it's, I know the original Chronicles of Narnia movies got some flack, and they're a little hokey at times and kind of silly at times, but I felt like they really kind of represented the source material pretty dang well. Hey, that's cool. I'm excited to. I finally got a Netflix account, so I actually will be really looking forward to the Chronicles of Narnia. This is the news for me for this week and maybe even the last week. I will thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for liking and subscribing. I do videos at least twice a week. Sometimes I get a third one in, sometimes I get a short in, something like that, but I get at least 2 videos in a week, and I attempt for Tuesday and Thursday, if not Friday. And I will catch you later. Thank you so much. Bye.